Yeah, no more drawings.
Radar, would you get under the Radar's under the table right now? When you were doing the conceptual design for the characters and the vehicles and all that stuff, I mean, how did that work? The collaboration, like you were working in conjunction with Ace and some other people, or how did it go?
Well, we're pretty close with Ace. Usually Ace have a pretty good idea of what he wants, but he really likes to see a lot of options. So I pretty much went through like very slick-looking design vehicles, super old school, like power jump.
Right.
And then pretty much just gave him tons of options, and usually he goes back to the original design that I knew he would like, but like, let's see 10 more versions of the skimmer.
I actually remember animating the canvas wing skimmers.
Yes.
Yeah, they started out with canvas wings, and we're figuring out how these things are going to transform, and we figured they just drop their wings, turn into planes, and then build them again.
Yeah.
So I went through a few.
Yeah.
And sorry I'm asking questions because I'm a bit of a, I like animation. Geek. Okay, you're a geek too. What were your inspirations like in growing up in terms of visually? Like, what did you see and say, gosh, I really love that visually, or what inspires you when you're doing your concept designs and stuff like that?
Well, I grew up watching, I don't know, maybe some of you guys too young. I used to watch Senseiya a lot. Okay, excellent. I watched Dragon Ball a lot, and then
Yeah.
Who doesn't? Actually, there's a point I watched Sailor Moon as well. So.
Woo!
Wow.
It's revealing quite a lot right now.
Good for you.
But there was a point I stopped watching anime.
What?
What?
That's when I kind of started discovering anatomy, but then I started understanding you kind of need to understand anatomy and then to do stylized stuff, which I started realizing anime is just a stylized version of real life. So I started watching anime again, but I watched a ton of Gundam. I'm a big robot geek, so most of my shows actually work quite properly. I was very anal about it.
Right.
Of the vehicles working and actually transform properly. Well, I mean, there's some cheating involved, but it works fairly well for non-realistic vehicles. So.
What about you, Rav? What were you? I mean, growing up visually, what really got you going, like, in terms of shows, movies, animation?
Well, I think a lot of people when I went to school, it's been about 11 years now. I went to school at CDIS, which is AI Art Institute now, and at that time, I think Reboot was the biggest thing that was on TV at that time. That everybody was like, this is the cutting edge. Ace came in for the Beast Machines.
Oh, okay.
Transformers Beast Machines, yeah. And so when Reboot was out, and I think that's when the schools had just started the 3D animation at that time. So for me growing up, I was more of a Looney Tunes, Disney type guy growing up. So that's why I still enjoy doing animation and directing animation on more of the comedy shows, because you can just the fun that comes out of it, and I see my son enjoy that stuff more. So I mean, he's a SpongeBob fan still, so I can't get him off that. But so so mine all came from the Looney Tunes, and I'm still always a little bit connected with more of the Looney Tunes type stuff. But
Tex Avery.
Tex Avery.
How about you?
Me? Yeah. Oh gosh. Actually, little known fact, guys, but when I was 10, I thought I was going to be an illustrator as opposed to an actor, and I loved comic books. I think my favorite character was Conan the Barbarian. I read all of Conan's stuff. I was more into the sword and sorcery kind of stuff, I guess, a little bit more. And then I went through a weird Garfield phase, I have to admit. I don't know why. I went through, obsessed with Garfield for a couple of years there. That's all I drew was Garfield over. That's the thing. I got the perfect, him sitting, just sitting. That was the perfect thing, Garfield sitting. I got that down flat, no problem. And then in anime stuff, there was a show called Star Blazers. I don't know if you remember that. I got so obsessed with that show. I was like building Lego ships, Star Blazer ship. But then I gave up the illustration thing and started acting. So but I mean, in terms of animation, I've always loved. I love the classics like you talk about, and I'm starting to get more of an appreciation for anime. But I was still, I loved the Hanna-Barbera stuff and all that, because that's what I grew up with. Yeah, Scooby and all those guys. So. Yes.
I see like certain similarities between like Star Wars and Stormhawks. Like a lot. Was that ever considered like Star Wars?
I think that there's going to be comparisons to Star Wars with anything now. I mean, you cannot get away from the fact that anybody who grew up, you know, who's 40 and under at least, has some kind of, has been influenced by Star Wars. You know, and I don't think Ace makes any secret about that. He loved that trilogy, and we all took inspiration from it.
Not Jar Jar.
Oh. don't go there. Yes.
Show influenced by the movie Serenity.
Oh, that's interesting. That's more.
You know what? I'll tell you. Every show we do, and I've done this a couple times. I did the show, the Mr. Moss, when the prison escape one. So I directed that show, and I know when we did the waterfall scene there, we went to the Mel Gibson's Apocalypto, jumping off the waterfall there, and then we just couldn't run our camera as long as that camera was run. But, you know, we always look at our shows, and we always think about what we've seen and what's been done well, and then we get our ideas from that. If it's been done well, then it's gonna work. So the inspiration always comes from somewhere.
Some people are saying that the scene where the net raiders go after the clouds in Terror Deep was very similar to the scene in Serenity where.
You know what? It was. I know the director that was on the show, and it was. And he actually told me to. This came up. From Johnny Darrell, who's a series director on Hot Wheels right now, and he actually told me to go watch Serenity, and that came up. So he did bring up the fact that it was similar to that, and when I went and watched Serenity, it was. So I'm sure the director, you know, probably got his ideas from that too. So you'll see a lot of that. Yes. Whose hair?
Whose hair?
Whose hair?
I don't know, are you into redheads? Well then, it would have to be Aerrow.
I don't know.
I know it's gonna have some awfully strong gel.
Yeah. Awfully strong gel.
That's not gel!
I like Aerrow's. I like the hair that moves a little bit, and I like the way his hair moves when.
I think Dark Ace is definitely using too much product.
Yeah, too much product.
You know what I mean? He doesn't move at all. It's like, come on, buddy. Easy up on the extra hold. I think Aerrow's using a moose probably. Just so we get that little bit of move. Yeah.
Well, there was a point we were worrying about that usually on these shows they need helmets.
Right.
It was a big worry, and then I designed all these like different hairstyle, and then we were so worried that network like, okay, you need to put helmets on all of them when they ride. We're like, well, can we just put a crown on it? That's actually how Dark Ace's face is not kind of.
No, it's the parachute thing. He said, we're gonna give him parachutes.
Oh, parachutes.
Okay, no more helmets then. There we go.
Yeah, we had seatbelts, we had helmets, all broadcast things that we have to address, but we didn't have to.
I think
Luckily.
it's fancy.
That's why.
And if you notice, if you look at any of the speed dials and the angles, they were all doing the speed limit. Just to let you know. No one exceeded the speed limit at any time.
Yeah, I think we told the broadcasters, we said as soon as we got motorbikes that fly, we'll start putting helmets on.
Yeah,
exactly.
I'm still waiting for them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Got another one. Do they ever wear anything else besides their uniforms, or is just that always what
They have
wear?
different
Like,
uniforms. They have
cool.
different uniforms.
The same uniform.
They changed their uniforms. They changed the uniforms. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes they change.
But there is a standard issue Stormhawks pajama.
They went to the beach.
Sleeps in the box, so that's exactly. But everybody else has the standard issue pajama, Stormhawks. You haven't seen it yet, but they probably did some spec drawings of it, I bet. At some point.
All the models are made with underwear. We just didn't use them all.
Yeah.
So maybe next season.
We'll have like a reality show version. It's like the Halo.
Yeah.
That we're
Yes.
Wallops in any case. Like, you know, I don't know. I've never seen like a humanoid creature. It looks like a rhinoceros, and the name is interesting.